You know, it's never a good idea to become a martyr for your beliefs. I mean, look at what happened to Jesus. But hey, this is the internet. It won't be that bad, right? I'm sure people will totally let me explain my point of view and have thoughtful discourse with me regarding their point of view. Oh god. Jesus thinks he had it bad! I'm the one who's about to get crucified! But it's what I do for the sake of the world. In fact, I'm sure many people were already triggered by the title and are definitely triggered from that intro.
Don't!
And are already writing their preemptive counter-argument before even watching this video. That's okay. This is the world we live in now. Thanks, Obama. I mean, for the healthcare, so I can see a doctor after this crucifixion. Okay, I'm just going to say it. I believe that Ralsei is a girl, and I want to tell you why! Well, nothing bad seems to have happened.
We have found the witch, may we burn her!
Before we get into the thick of it, this video isn't sponsored by anything but our We Came to Conquer shirt, cause Treacicle is strange and therefore aliens. And we've got sweet new merch! You can grab it at pixelempire.com/Treacicle and get 10% off with code Treacicle. Just click the link in the description to check it out. Now back to it! Alright, lovely people, in my last Deltarune video, you may have noticed a tiny little detail that I put in the video. I said that I believed Ralsei is a girl, and the internet exploded. Not to mention the reveal of Ralsei being a girl at the very end of the game. The comment section was insane. People were angry, possibly more angry than any other video we've ever made. Well, except for our Subnautica video. Sorry, Ryan. But let's not disturb the dead. Holy guacamole, grape nuts were people upset! They thought I was assuming Ralsei's gender based on the color pink. They thought I was just straight up lying or stupid. There were so many people upset by this that I felt I had to make a video to explain myself and this idea, even though it doesn't change anything in the thesis of that video. It was a single sentence comment, but for some reason if I get a detail wrong in people's eyes, suddenly the entire video is untrue. There's definitely a bit of an all or nothing mentality out there. So before you go off telling me about how I'm still wrong and don't have a soul and will likely be used by Satan as a toothpick in the afterlife, maybe, just maybe, give me a chance to try and explain my thoughts on this topic. You don't even have to agree when I'm done! But we would be insane to not consider all possibilities when it comes to Deltarune and Toby Fox. Right? I mean, this is the guy who made Undertale. Why are we leaving any possibilities out? Alright, I feel I've properly set myself up for failure, so let's get into this idea.
Yeah, he's alright.
Ralsei is an anagram for Azrael. So many people were like, how could you not see this? My blind uncle from Ecuador who fell into a volcano 20 years ago and was never heard from again texted me because he saw it! Yeah, I saw it too. I absolutely knew Ralsei's name was an anagram before writing that script. A ton of people are taking this anagram as proof of Ralsei being Azrael. To which I would reply, what? You all know Deltarune is an anagram for Undertale, right? And yet we know straight from Toby Fox's mouth/Twitter account that this world is not the same world as Undertale. So why would we expect another anagram to be the same as what it was in Undertale? Now I know this isn't going to be enough for people to convince them otherwise. The mob is still coming and they want my skull as a juicy juice goblet. But before I get buried under the comments and crushed to death, let's entertain the idea of Ralsei being Azrael. If Ralsei was Azrael, why is he so short? We know Azrael is off in college in this world. That means that Azrael is going to look way older than Ralsei does. Look at what Azrael looks like from Undertale as he's flying around trying to rainbow beam us to death. That's about college age. Late teens, maybe early 20s. He's pretty big. Tall horns, slim stature. He looks like a healthy goat. This is in contrast to Toriel and Asgore, who are older, and Azrael's younger self that we see at the end of Undertale. Between all these goat models, it's obvious which one Ralsei looks like the most, the youngest Azrael. Since we know Azrael is college age in this game, it doesn't make any sense to me how Azrael could be Ralsei. But that's just one group of people who are convinced Ralsei is Azrael. There's an entire other group who shouted at me, "Female goats don't have horns, you dongs hater!" I don't know where this idea came from. We literally have a female goat in the game and she has horns. Also, the quickest Google search will show you that goats of both genders can have horns. So that's not proof at all that Ralsei isn't a girl. Also, young Asriel didn't have horns! Obviously, we can't determine the exact age of Asriel in this picture versus Ralsei during Deltarune, but look at their faces from the dialogue boxes. Ralsei doesn't really look like young Asriel. Here's another image of Asriel from Undertale right before we fight him. Does this look like Ralsei to you? Basically, I just think anyone who is assuming Ralsei is Asriel because of the name anagram and goatfulness is willingly dismissing the fact that they don't look the same. And I know people are going to comment about the save point immediately after meeting Ralsei, which describes Ralsei as a prince, and we have the power of fluffy boys shines within you. This is our perception of Ralsei having just met them. It isn't proof that Ralsei is a boy. It's just how we see them as of this moment. It's also just good meme material. Now, why else do I think Ralsei is a girl? I think the primary reason people believe Ralsei is a boy is because of the whole Asriel connection and because they refer to themselves as a prince. But I think I've thoroughly shown that first one isn't true. However, I still think there's more solid proof that Ralsei is a girl, and most of it comes from Susie. When Ralsei does her big reveal here, what is she revealing? Most people assumed she was revealing herself to be Asriel. Again, I think I've shown that's not the case. Also, if this was an Asriel reveal, wouldn't we have some reaction to our brother being there? Also, what if Asriel was Ralsei? Wouldn't we have already met him? He's literally our brother. We shared a room growing up. Ralsei wouldn't be saying, "I really enjoyed meeting you too." Sorry, there's just so much evidence for this not being Asriel. Even as I'm writing this, more keeps coming up. But anyway, Susie reacts to Ralsei's reveal. What is Susie reacting to? It's not Ralsei being Asriel, and it's certainly not Ralsei being a goat. We already know Susie knows our mom. She knows what a goat looks like. Susie likely even had our mom as a teacher growing up. It's a pretty small school. So what is Susie reacting to here? The only thing that makes sense to me is that Susie had been assuming Ralsei's gender like everyone else. Toby showed this by having Susie call Ralsei dude the entire game. And it's reinforced right at this moment. Susie says, "Can barely hear you, dude." Then Ralsei reveals herself. Susie freaks out, has a buttload of question marks for dialogue, and then says, yeah, sure, dude, haha. Now, I use dude for any gender during our streams. Twitch.tv/treeschool. We even use the term dude neutral because of this. But we have to use that term because so many people still use dude as a masculine only noun. Look at Susie's face here. She's surprised by Ralsei. And then her dialogue is her unsure of what to say. This isn't because Ralsei is Asriel. This isn't because Ralsei is a goat. There's literally only one explanation for it. Susie had been assuming Ralsei was a guy the entire time and had her mind blown when she found out Ralsei was a girl. That's my reasoning for saying Ralsei was a girl in my last Deltarune video. But even if you still don't believe it, even if you're still like, nah, Grant, you're an idiot, Ralsei is obviously a guy and he's obviously Asriel, get your mind out of the goat anus! It doesn't really make a huge difference. The entire point of that last video was to explain that the legend of Deltarune is likely not going to play out the way we think. Even if Ralsei is a guy and I'm completely wrong, don't you find it weird that Ralsei is supposed to be a prince but has no servants? Sure, Ralsei might be a prince from another castle, but then look at the 3 other kings we see all sad and imprisoned within the dungeon. None of them are goats! Wouldn't one of these kings need to be a goat to be Ralsei's dad? Goatology says so! Isn't it also strange that we run into another prince from the dark, aka Lancer? Isn't it weird that despite us being told this entire legend about how the world is going to end and only 3 of us can save it, we don't? We don't do anything to save the world. We just go home. All I was trying to say was that this legend likely has a stronger impact on our real world, the Lightner's world, than we originally realized. We shouldn't be taking this legend at face value. Ralsei could be lying to us, especially if I'm right and she is a girl. If Ralsei is a girl, that means she completely lied to us about being a prince, and possibly about the legend. So we gotta watch our back. But even if I'm wrong, that doesn't change this issue. What if Ralsei is mistaken and believes they're the prince from the dark when it's supposed to be Lancer? Don't get hung up on this one detail. No matter matter how you look at it, there's one person claiming to be a prince from the dark and another we meet who definitely is a prince from the dark. That bugs me. It doesn't seem right, and I think it's going to end up playing a huge role in the future of this story. Ralsei being a girl just makes this issue of two princes even more apparent. But even if you think I'm wrong, which is totally fine by the way, that doesn't change the issue. We're all entitled to our own opinions and thoughts. This is mine. I hope you gave it some thought, and maybe I even convinced you, but if not, that's good. We don't figure out mysteries by having everyone believe the same thing. The only way to get to the truth is by people looking in the most unlikely places for it. That's what I try to do anyway. So, that's it. Is the mob still coming? Well, I tried. Hopefully, I also come back 3 days after getting crucified. But while I'm dying hung up by my wrists, you should check out our dope new merch. Look at this! It's a goddamn UFO, and a forest, and a person. It's cool, and it's still got those classic treacle trees, so you know it's from us. We worked really hard to make this stuff awesome and also super affordable and comfy, so I hope you guys like it. Plus, you can get it in men's, women's, t-shirts, sweatshirts, tank tops, all the good stuff. And if you do, we'll definitely continue to make more in this quirky, cool, sci-fi, trippy style. I think it really captures the channel. Go to pixelempire.com/treacle to check it out. Links in the description, people. Use the coupon code TREACLE and get an extra 10% off. Also, that woman being sucked up, yeah, that's your mom. Not like your mom, but more like Stacy's mom, you know? You should take a look at the rest of Pixel Empire too. They have tons of cool designs and merch from other awesome YouTubers like Gaijin Goomba. So check them out. Anyway, I'm Grant, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!